What's up guys, Randy here with PressToReset.com with a video showing a comparison between the 3DS and Nintendo's new 3DS XL. Some might be on the fence on whether or not they should trade in their old 3DS for the new XL, and some that perhaps don't have one may also be wondering which one should they invest their money in. So I wanted to do a comparison video to show off the differences, the pros, the cons, and let you be the judge. I'll also give my personal opinion on which one I prefer to maybe help you in your decision. And that's my phone, which is very unprofessional, and I apologize for that, so let me turn that off. Anyways, obviously right off the bat is size. And we can see, I'll put them on top, that the XL adds about half an inch around than the old one, and width-wise, you know, surprisingly, the XL looks like it's a little bit skinnier width-wise. So you are going to sacrifice the overall size, but width-wise, you're going to get a little bit of a slimmer console, or they're about the same. I don't know. I haven't measured it. Let's open them up. Check out the main feature of the new XL, which is obviously the larger screen, which is now approximately 90% larger, which allows you to go on and see cool websites more fully, like PressToReset.com, as you can see there. Selfless plug for the win, and make sure you check that site out. It's really good. Anyways, so as you can see, the screen size is larger than the original, which is what we've come to expect. But let's take a look at some of the other features that maybe we don't know about and see what differences besides the screen that the system also offers. One thing I noticed, not a big deal, but right when you open it, you can see that it has a lock right there, which I guess they were more focused on perhaps watching TV or videos or Netflix or whatever with the larger screen, which is kind of cool. I like that. And then you can set it back to the gaming position, which, I mean, is not a big deal. The 3DS, you can prop it up at whatever size you want, but you know, it's kind of nice because it's not going to fall, especially if you have wear and tear on your system's hinges. Next thing, stylus placement. I don't really like the stylus placement on the old 3DS. It's a small complaint, but it's over here where the cartridge is at, so you usually have to grab it with your left finger and then grab it with your right if you're right-handed. I suppose left-handed players probably would prefer this because it is quickly accessible to your left hand, but then again, you know, where most people are right-handed, it's a little bit more difficult. The new XL now puts it where not the 3DS, but the original DS had it on the side, which I prefer much more because it's just, I can grab it real quick, I can slip it back in real fast for when you need the stylus on certain moments of the game. So stylus placement, I definitely like the XL. Is it something that's going to make me not want the original? No, I mean, it's a small gripe to pay, but I do like the stylus placement more. Next is the buttons. They're pretty much the same. You got obviously the joypad right here, the D-pad. The buttons, they feel a little bit different. I think the XL actually has smaller buttons and a smaller joystick, which is strange, but they're not anything that you're going to be able to notice unless you're really looking. The big difference though is in the, if my camera will focus, the select, home, and start button. The original 3DS is more soft touch, more like a touchscreen interface, whereas the new 3DS, the buttons are more like a keyboard, or like a piano, I guess would be a bad analogy, but I'll use it anyways, which I like. See, I pressed the home button, went straight there. There's been times using the original 3DS that I've had to press the home button twice because it wasn't recognizing. So I actually do prefer the new home, select, and start buttons than the original 3DS. Some of the bigger pros, is that you're going to get additional battery life with the new XL. I'm not sure exactly how long. I had it on for 2 days and it still had a charge, which is much better than the 3DS had when I had it. Also memory. You get 4 gigs now with the XL, whereas the original only had 2. Not a big deal. I had my my 3DS since launch, and I never filled up all the space, but it's nice to know that I have an extra 2 gigs when I need it. So you're going to get more memory, more battery life, bigger screen, better stylus placement, and better buttons. Those are definitely the pros of the system. Some of the cons are accessories. If you've spent money on the original 3DS, more than likely you've gone out and you've bought yourself a case like this. Well, guess what? If you've traded this in for the new one, it's not going to fit. Obviously, I need to get a new one because it does not fit. Also, is the Circle Pad Pro. I have it for the original, but since I traded in the original for the XL, it's pretty much obsolete. Well, not pretty much, it is obsolete because it does not fit on the XL. While they do have a Circle Pad Pro for the XL out, it's just more money you're going to have to put into this system. Yeah, you're going to get some trade-in value, but then you got to also think you're going to need a new case, you're going to need a new Circle Pad Pro if you use it. If not, then great, but it's just extra money that you're going to have to spend. But those are pretty much the only cons. Well, I guess also portability. Obviously, if you're someone who plays and you travel a lot and you like to play on the go, then this might be a better fit for you. The XL fits in your pocket just fine. I'm not going to say that it's huge and you now need to wear a man purse to carry it around. It does fit in your pocket, but it is a little bit more cumbersome. But for me, personally, I do most of my gaming at home and at work, so this makes more sense to me. I want the larger screen. Along with the larger screen is obviously a larger console, which for me fits better in my hands. I have a little bit, elephantitis in the hands, you can say. But it does fit better. It feels more like I'm holding a console controller. Whereas the 3DS, there's been times where my hands have cramped up because I'm, squeezing it as hard as I can, or, doing things I probably shouldn't be. So, anyways, my personal opinion, if you have the original 3DS, and you don't, that's Excitebike. You have this original, and that's Pokédex, and they're going to keep playing music till I turn it down. If you have the original 3DS and you don't have a lot of cash to fork out, just keep it. It's the same thing, you're just smaller. But if you have a little bit extra cash and you're like me and you play most of your games stationary at home, then you might want to look into investing and getting the bigger screen. I really like it. It really makes the games pop, in my opinion. The 3D looks a little bit deeper, which, is probably just in my head, but for me, I prefer the larger screen. So there you have it. They're pretty much the same. Just kind of keep in mind that you're going to have to pay some extra money. Most game stores will give you, I think it's $100 trade-in. Don't quote me on that because I don't want any angry emails. But I got $100 for my original 3DS, meaning that the XL only cost me $100. Something to keep in mind, I want to point out real quick. When I sold mine, I took this home, and the only way to transfer your data from your old system to your new one is to have both of them. So I had to go back to the game store. Thankfully, they let me take the sold system home because it also needs Wi-Fi. So keep that in mind. You might want to buy the new one, transfer your data, then sell it. But it's kind of a bummer, especially if you don't have that much money and you need to sell your old system so that you can even afford the new system. There may be a way to do it on the computer. I haven't figured it out, but if you want to transfer your data, you have to go to system settings on both consoles and do transfer profiles. You'll see some cute little Pikmin running back and forth, picking up different data and transferring it. So there you have it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you like the original 3DS, or do you prefer Nintendo's new larger 3DS? And keep checking back at PressToReset.com for more news, videos, and information like this, along with all the reviews that you crave. That's PressToReset.com, and yeah, we'll talk soon.